Well, billionaire tech giant Elon Musk's attempts to exert influence in European politics is drawing a lot of attention. Ahead of the German elections, Musk is putting his weight behind the country's far-right party, the AfD, or the Alternative for Germany. In a video address at a campaign rally in the eastern city of Halle, Musk described the AfD as the best hope for the future of Germany. He also urged supporters to fight, fight, fight for Germany's future. The slogan was voiced by Trump moments after he was shot at in a campaign rally. The tech billionaire added that the current regime is suppressing speech very aggressively.
I think you want more self-determination for Germany and for the countries in Europe and less from Brussels. That's my opinion. I think there's too much bureaucracy from Brussels, too much control from sort of global elite.
Musk is already in the middle of a controversy regarding a public hand gesture similar to a Nazi salute earlier this week. Several European leaders also lambasted him for interfering in European politics with comments on his social media platform X against German and British politicians. Following Musk's address, AfD's Chancellor candidate Alice Weidel congratulated and wished Elon Musk and US President Donald Trump the very best to make America great again.
We wish you, President Donald Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance, all the best to make America great again. You're the best.
Musk's address at the AfD rally came as tens of thousands of people took to the streets of Berlin to protest against the far-right Alternative for Germany. The protest saw minor scuffles between demonstrators and the law enforcement officials. Demonstrations were also held against the far-right party across other German cities. Organizers of these protests claim around 100,000 Germans took part in the anti-AfD protests in Berlin. At the Brandenburg Gate, protesters used mobile phones to form what they called a sea of light for democracy, forming the word resistance. Now, according to the latest polls, race to Germany's chancellorship is headed by CDU candidate Friedrich Merz with 30% of votes. German far-right AfD is at the second position with 20% of the votes. The ruling SPD is far behind with 17% votes. German elections will be held on the February 23rd. James Jackson is a defense journalist and political analyst, is now joining us live on this broadcast. Mr. Jackson, thank you very much for making time for us and welcome to the program. What is Elon Musk trying to do?
What Elon Musk is trying to do, I think, is a big matter for dispute. Some people say that he is just he's clearly trying to support the AfD, the far-right party in Germany, and he's written in newspapers about why people should vote AfD. He's hosted their candidate for Chancellor, Alice Weidel, on a long discussion on X, his social media site, and has now, as you've just seen, hosted a talk at their party rally, where he said some very controversial things, including that Germans should not be ashamed of their past, they should be proud of their past, the sins of the children and the sins of the grandparents are different things. So the question you've asked me was why? I don't know why. I've spoken to people who have ideas, but including that Musk is trying to further his business interests by weakening the euro and creating political instability in Europe. I heard that from our very powerful, prominent M&A, mergers and acquisitions lawyers. But then there's the other side, which is that Elon Musk is actually just a very erratic person who seems to have gone down a far-right rabbit hole. So then maybe there is no grand plan, and he's just expressing his far-right preferences. We saw his strange gesture, which looked a lot like a Nazi Hitler salute on the stage of Donald Trump's inauguration. Is he provoking? Is he genuinely a Nazi or sympathetic to that. Well, I mean, with his newest statements, it's actually quite hard to deny the latter point because, you know, he said that Germans should be proud. In Germany, there is a pretty wide consensus that, you know, you're not proud of the past because of the horrific crimes which Germany committed against Europe and the world, and especially the Jews and the Romani people.
Mr. Jackson, let me ask you this then. The previous United States government did say that Elon Musk is a private citizen and some of these comments should not be taken seriously. And now Elon Musk owns one of the biggest tech companies in the world. He owns Tesla, he owns X. Should he abandon this tech business? Should we abandon his business and focus on politics?
Well, you know, he's not a private citizen anymore just because he is a very close and powerful advisor to Donald Trump. I think it's actually fair to call him an oligarch because he controls a platform that's very important and, you know, arguably helped get Donald Trump elected rather. Freudian slip there. But so I think the issue is he can't run for president because he was born in South Africa. So he appears to be trying to influence politics across the world, especially the US, but also now increasingly Germany and the UK. And he doesn't need to step out of business. And, you know, arguably his business interests and his political interests are one, because if he's fighting for, you know, whichever cause it is, sometimes they're beneficial. Sometimes, you know, whether it's economic tariffs, whether it's weakening the euro, these could be beneficial for his business. So I think we need to be aware that he is a businessman and trying to influence politics. And so that could arguably make him an oligarch.
All right. Mr. James Jackson, we are out of time. We have to leave it there. Thank you very much for your insights and for talking to us today.
Thanks for having me.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.